Charleston White said that you did God's work by killing King Von.
You thought King Von's death would be a forgotten story by now. Now, new footage has surfaced showing the men behind his death speaking out. And what they're saying is wild. From bold justifications to emotional reactions, this new video is reopening wounds and sparking fresh controversy online.
When you found out that King Von died, how'd you feel?
Just know, like, I was just protecting my little brother.
Let me put you on game. The deadly night and controversial aftermath. King Von was tragically gunned down on November 6, 2020, outside the Monaco Hookah Lounge in Atlanta. The next day, Lil Tim, the man who pulled the trigger that night, was arrested while being treated for his own gunshot wounds at Grady Hospital. He was charged with felony murder in connection with King Von's death. Despite murder being a non-bondable offense in Georgia, Lil Tim appealed to the Superior Court and was granted a $100,000 bond, leading to his release in March 2021. In the years following the shooting, Lil Tim has done several interviews about the incident. In one with Fuchsia's TV, he was asked about his feelings regarding the case.
How do you feel about that though? Like, do you feel any type of way, or you just waiting until the situation really play out?
His response was brief, as the case was still active in court.
I'm just waiting. Yeah.
In another interview, Lil Tim addressed rumors of $1 million bounty on his head following the shooting.
There was a rumor around this time that there was a $1 million bounty on your head.
Yeah.
Did you hear about it?
Yeah.
The rumor was that Quando had the same amount on his head as well.
Yeah.
Lil Tim has also expressed regret about the situation, stating in one interview,
I was like, damn, if Brian did that stupid shit last night, it would have been alive.
However, he's been dismissive of claims made by Asian Doll, Von's ex-girlfriend, who has repeatedly stated on social media that Lil Tim didn't kill Von, saying that the police said Tim ain't kill him, the police did, and later insisting, since when you can shoot for fighting your friend and claim it's self-defense. Them charges was dropped because his bullets didn't kill Von. Let's talk the real. I'm sick of these lying. According to Lil Tim, these claims are merely attention-seeking.
You just look at her like, man, it's like,
I agree.
it's like the whole world seen the video and it ain't just saying they proud about it or whatever, but what happened. You can't take it back. It's in the past now. She probably got an album or something that's gonna come out or something. She probably trying to clout chase or something, but...
In a significant development on August 20th, 2023, nearly 3 years after the shooting, Lil Tim's attorney, Noah Pines, confirmed that all charges against him had been dropped prior to indictment. Reports suggest that prosecutors believed it was a case of self-defense, lacking sufficient evidence for conviction. This conclusion was based on Georgia's Stand Your Ground law, which allows individuals to use deadly force in self-defense without retreating. Following the dismissal of charges, Lil Tim released a song titled Left a Stain, with lyrics reflecting on his legal victory. I told him about my good news, I'm about to beat this case. However, Lil Tim's legal troubles didn't end there. In October 2022, he was arrested in Georgia on drug-related charges, including possession of Schedule 1 and 2 controlled substances and less than an ounce of marijuana. And as recently as April 14, 2025, reports indicate Lil Tim was arrested again in Chatham County, Georgia, though specific charges remain unclear. Throughout these legal battles, Lil Tim has continued his music career, releasing singles like Lifestyle, Forever Paid, and Motion in 2024. He's maintained an active social media presence where he frequently posts about his personal life. In October 2024, Lil Tim announced a documentary titled The Book of Timothy, set to explore his perspective on the events of November 6, 2020. The project includes interviews with Lil Tim and Quando Rondo, promising new details and evidence related to the case. The trailer features footage of Lil Tim discussing the incident and Quando Rondo describing related events. This documentary release coincides with heightened attention due to another major development in the case, Lil Durk's arrest in October 2024 on federal charges, including conspiracy to commit murder for hire, allegedly targeting Quando Rondo in retaliation for King Von's death. This operation reportedly resulted in the death of Rondo's cousin, Saviaya Lil Pab Robinson, in 2022. In February 2025, Durk faced a wrongful death lawsuit from Lil Pab's mother, alleging he financed the plot, further connecting the 2020 incident to ongoing legal battles. Durk's trial has been delayed to October 14, 2025, due to the complexity of the case. Now, before we get deeper into the recent developments and shocking new footage, we need to understand exactly what went down that night, because the official narrative and what actually happened might be two entirely different stories. According to multiple reports, Von was was leaving Opium nightclub after his album release party and headed to Monaco Hookah Lounge around 3:20 a.m. But what started as a celebration quickly turned deadly when Von encountered Quando Rondo's crew in the parking lot. Security footage from that night shows King Von approaching Quando Rondo and immediately punching him, knocking him to the ground. Von's crew joined in the attack, raining blows on Quando as he tried to escape. Within seconds, Lul Team appeared from behind their vehicle with a gun and started firing shots as everyone scattered. Von was hit in the torso, and chaos ensued as off-duty police officers who were working security nearby also drew their weapons and fired. The altercation reportedly stemmed from a beef that had been brewing for months. Some claimed it was over women, specifically involving NBA YoungBoy's baby mama, Jania. Although she denied any romantic relationship with Von, the situation escalated when Von's girlfriend at the time, Asian Doll, fueled the rumors.
Oh yeah, I mean, they say the King Von situation was over Jania, who was NBA YoungBoy's baby mother.
Yeah.
But they weren't even together at the time.
However, the roots of the conflict appear to go deeper. Von had previously dissed NBA YoungBoy on Instagram Live, calling him out for allegedly lying in his lyrics.
YoungBoy talking about on this song, bro.
What?
He talking crazy on this man.
Oh yeah?
He ain't even like that.
Oh!
On his
On his Zach.
You got cap in your raps.
From there, things escalated dramatically. Von was rumored to have had a fling with YoungBoy's baby mama, Jania, even tweeting cryptically, "Wouldn't believe the female I just made a hit with." Soon after, photos of Von and Jania together began circulating online, fueling speculation they were intimate. Jania denied these rumors and claimed they were simply working on music together.
I've been working. We have a song coming out. Y'all wasn't supposed to know, but it is what it is now. We have a song coming out. So when the song come out, just know it's hardest. You feel me?
But Asian Doll, who was dating Von at the time, confirmed the rumors, saying she had seen the DMs between Von and Jania.
I'ma be a rapper though, ready for the streets. I'm just trying to get my money to take care of my son. Period.
NBA YoungBoy didn't take kindly to all this and retaliated on social media, posting a photo with the caption, "I'm gonna make sure my son your daughter since you trolling bit." A clear shot at Von, who has a daughter. YoungBoy reportedly also got back at Von by hooking up with Asian Doll, even texting his producer using her account. This spiral of disrespect eventually landed at Quando Rondo's door. What's strange is that Von and Quando were actually cool at one point and were even recorded together dissing Von's Chicago enemies.
In them DMs, I seen it. So all that songs, that did.
So what happened after shots were fired that night? According to reports, Von's friends quickly loaded him into a vehicle and rushed him to the nearest hospital. Lul Tim, who had been shot by police during the exchange, was helped into Quando Rondo's car, and they also headed to the hospital. Coincidentally, both groups ended up at the same medical facility, though fortunately, no further violence erupted. Now this is where things get particularly interesting, and where the recent footage and revelations come into play. The official story was that Von died during surgery at the hospital. However, there's been increasing speculation backed by some pretty shocking claims from people close to Von that there might be more to this story. Von's cousin Belo has been making waves with some truly wild statements about what really happened at the hospital. According to him, Von had successfully undergone 2 surgeries and was expected to survive.
One of the things you had said was he had survived 2 surgeries, like he was expected to live at first.
Belo then dropped a bombshell, saying Von's sister, Kayla B, told him that Von was scheduled for 3 surgeries. After completing 2 of them, Von allegedly got out of bed, started fighting with nurses, and asked for his gun. This apparently caused him to go into shock, which led to his death.
No, his sister, Kayla, she told me. She said that he had 3 surgeries, but he made it. He was supposed to have 3 surgeries. He made it through 2. He hopped off the bed after the second surgery and supposedly started fighting the nurse and asked the nurse where's his gun at, something like that. And then he died because he went into shock.
If true, this is absolutely insane. But there are legitimate questions about this account. How would Kayla B know these details when she wasn't even at the hospital? Belo himself confirmed that while Kayla was at the club earlier, she had gone home and didn't go to the hospital after learning about the shooting.
She was out there that night, wasn't she?
What you mean, at the club?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was at the club. She told me she had left and went home. And I guess when she got home, that's when she supposedly had called me.
So she didn't go to the hospital?
No.
That's like her blood brother, like.
This discrepancy has fueled speculation about whether Von was set up, possibly by people close to him. And that's not the only suspicious circumstance surrounding his death. Back in 2020, shortly after Von died, his manager, Track 100, gave an interview detailing the events of that night. He mentioned that Von was traveling in a bulletproof truck.
Von traveled in a bulletproof truck. So going out the club, he jumped into the bulletproof truck. and it was him and maybe two or three more individuals. Remember, he was in a bulletproof truck.
Okay.
So it wasn't no concern.
However, recently Von's cousin Balo has disputed this claim, alleging that on the night Von was killed, his usual bulletproof truck was mysteriously switched out for a regular vehicle.
They switched the truck out from a bulletproof truck to a regular truck. He's a hot artist. Why would y'all do that? The night of all this, just ain't making sense. But yeah, it was definitely switched out. Somebody close said that.
All of these mysterious circumstances have led to widespread speculation about who might have set Von up, if indeed he was set up. And surprisingly, one name that keeps coming up is his OTF label boss and supposed friend, Lil Durk. But why would Durk want Von dead? Was King Von set up by someone close? This might sound completely outlandish at first. After all, Durk and Von were not just label mates, but were portrayed as close friends. They collaborated on numerous tracks, and Durk seemingly took Von's death hard, even releasing songs memorializing him. So why would anyone suspect Durk of being involved in Von's death? The theory centers around a legal case that both rappers were facing at the time. Von and Durk were co-defendants in an attempted murder case stemming from a shooting in Atlanta that left one man wounded. This was a serious charge that could have sent both artists to prison for years. However, in October 2022, nearly 2 years after Von's death, all charges against Durk were mysteriously dropped. The prosecution admitted they didn't have enough evidence to proceed with the case against Durk. This timing raised eyebrows among fans and industry insiders. According to court documents, Durk's lawyers maintained that while he was present at the crime scene, he was never involved in the shooting. But the evidence against him appeared substantial. A female witness who was present reported that after a fight broke out, she saw Durk pull out a firearm. The witness ran and heard shots being fired, later finding the victim in a pool of blood. Even more damning, detectives had obtained surveillance footage that allegedly showed Durk firing at the victim.
You see Mr. Banks' arm out the window firing several shots at the victim.
So why would charges be dropped despite this evidence? Georgia District Attorney Fani Willis made a statement that raised serious questions. She said, if co-defendant Davon Bennett, aka King Von, had not died in 2020, he would have been indicted for this incident. This statement seems strange to many. If all the evidence pointed to Durk, why would Von have been indicted instead? The theory emerged that Durk might have cooperated with authorities, placing the blame on Von, who was no longer alive to defend himself. Former members of Von's gang, O-Block, speculated that for Durk to avoid charges in a crime where he was present, he must have provided information to authorities.
If I'm with you, we do something, you don't report it, but you know I did it, and you don't report it, we go on about our life. You are as liable as to the case as I am. What I'm finna go down for, you finna go down for, unless when you get in this behind these doors, you tell me something that I don't know. And then probably a little bit more.
Even Charleston White, a controversial social media figure known for his outspoken commentary on hip-hop, has accused Durk of snitching on Von.
Lil Durk told on King Von. That's how he beat his charges. Lil Durk told on King Von. That's how he got his charges beat.
There's another strange incident that adds fuel to the conspiracy fire. Before Von's death, one of Lil Durk's lawyers, Nicole Mormon, was allegedly caught on camera posing as airport security and searching Von. The footage shows a woman who resembles Mormon conducting what appeared to be an unauthorized search. It turns out that Mormon had previously worked as a felony probation officer and specialized task force agent for nearly 5 years, meaning she had experience going undercover. Theorists suggest this could have been an attempt to catch Von with contraband or evidence that would paint him as the dangerous party in their shared legal case, potentially helping Durk's position. But one of the most eyebrow-raising pieces of this puzzle involves King Von's sister, Kayla B. Shortly after Von died, 21 Savage bought Kayla B a Range Rover, a gesture that seemed oddly timed. Kayla B claimed the gift was unexpected, but mentioned she was already locked in with 21 Savage because she had been dating his little brother. The timing becomes even more suspicious when you consider that 21 Savage later revealed he was with Lil Durk in Houston when Von was shot, and he received a call about the shooting just minutes after it happened. This account contradicts video evidence showing Durk on Instagram Live at the moment he learned about Von's shooting. Some have suggested Durk was creating an alibi by going live, knowing what was about to happen to Von. All of these connections have led some to question whether Kayla B herself might have been involved in setting up her brother. However, the number of coincidences and unanswered questions has fueled ongoing speculation. Balo's explanation for why he believes Von was set up adds more layers layers to this mystery. From Von not being in his bulletproof truck to being alone with minimal security at a parking lot, there are numerous details that don't add up. And to add to the strangeness, Balo revealed that Von's regular driver was also switched out that night. Balo even suggested that if Von hadn't gotten out to fight, he might still have been targeted in the vehicle. Another suspicious element is how Von knew Quando Rondo was at the parking lot. According to Track 100, one of Von's associates approached his vehicle and informed him that so-and-so was present, which immediately prompted Von to jump out of the car. Strangely, neither Track 100 nor Balo has ever revealed who this individual was, despite being asked directly.
Now, shortly after that, 21 Savage, he bought you a Range Rover?
Yeah.
What's even more weird is that Quando Rondo and Lil Tim were reportedly spotted at Opium nightclub during Von's album release party, according to Von's DJ.
Dude them was at the party. Now whose party was this album release party? It was King Von album release party. Okay. But dude them was at the party. Quando? Yes, they was at the party. On my mama, they was at the party.
This raises the question, how did Quando and his crew know where Von would be that night? Was it a coincidence, or did someone from Von's camp tip them off? Track 100 himself admitted that something seemed off with Von that night.
Well, this man is like, I promise you, the best artist I ever moved in my life as far as knowing how to conduct himself properly. But for some reason that night, it was off.
When Balo was asked point blank whether he thought Von was set up, his answer was telling.
So do you feel like Von was set up? Cause I seen you say something about.
Yeah, I mean, I always say like that because it don't make sense to me. Cause certain shit don't be making sense to me, and I just like a lot of fans, it don't be making sense to them either. But even to me, I don't know why it just seemed like on my heart something don't seem genuine, like at all.
The relationship between King Von and his sister Kayla B has also been scrutinized in the aftermath of his death. While there's no evidence of direct controversies between them during Von's lifetime, several issues arose after his passing that have fueled speculation about their relationship. Some social media users accuse Kayla B of having inappropriate feelings for King Von based on old ex posts showing affection, which she vehemently denied, calling the claims sick and nasty. Further investigation revealed these accusations were likely fueled by fans of King Von's ex-girlfriend, Asian Doll, with Reddit discussions clarifying that rumors of them dating before knowing they were siblings were false. After Von's death, significant contention arose over his estate, particularly his unreleased music. Kima, the mother of one of King Von's children, accused Kayla B of stealing hard drives containing unreleased tracks, claiming this could destroy his legacy. Kayla B denied hearing about any music leaks. Additionally, Reddit discussions highlighted a beef where Kayla was called out for taking Von's items after his death while she accused family members of selling his chain. Public opinion was divided, with some supporting Kayla and others criticizing the family's actions. Kayla B's involvement in personal conflicts with individuals connected to King Von added to the controversies. In January 2021, she engaged in a physical altercation with rapper Cuban Doll in Atlanta, following days of online arguments. The fight was reportedly triggered by Kayla's claim that Cuban Doll tried to sleep with King Von, with Cuban Doll denying the accusation. Another conflict involved Kima, escalating over social media posts. Kima cropped Kayla's son, Lil Tony, out of a picture featuring King Von's children, leading to a heated exchange. Kima accused Kayla of chasing clout and lying to Von, while Kayla defended her actions. All of these disputes and suspicious circumstances have created a perfect storm of conspiracy theories surrounding King Von's death. While we may never know the full truth, it's clear that there are many unanswered questions about what happened that night in Atlanta and who might have played a role in it. But one theory that people have never fully explored is whether cops actually killed Von and not Lil Tim. The police involvement and unanswered questions. The shooting that claimed King Von's life occurred around 3:20 a.m. outside the Monaco Hookah Lounge in Atlanta on November 6, 2020. According to official reports from the Atlanta Police Department, APD, and the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, GBI, officers were present at the scene, with 2 off-duty officers working security at the lounge and an on-duty officer patrolling nearby. When the altercation between Von's crew and Quando Rondo's group escalated into gunfire, these officers intervened. The APD has maintained that Von was shot during the initial exchange between the two groups before police got involved. In an official statement, they explicitly denied rumors that Von was shot by APD officers, saying, "At this time, our investigators believe Mr. Bennett was shot during the initial shootout between the two groups of males, prior to police responding and attempting to stop the shooting." The GBI's investigation confirmed that officers did fire their weapons after responding to the scene, but it was unclear if these shots injured anyone. 2 officers, one on duty and one off duty, reportedly fired shots at 2 locations during the incident, and the GBI continued to investigate their use of force. However, no official reports have confirmed that police shots caused King Von's death. This official narrative has been challenged by some. It's worth noting that King Von's manager also refuted misinformation about Von's final moments, warning against spreading unverified details. The official autopsy report has not been made publicly available, making it difficult to verify exactly how many times Von was shot or who fired the fatal bullets. News reports consistently state that King Von died from gunshot wounds, but specifics on the number or source of the bullets remain unclear. This lack of transparency has fueled speculation and conspiracy theories about what really happened that night. Some have speculated that the ballistic evidence might have been inconclusive, or that there were political considerations at play. Without access to the full autopsy report or ballistic analysis, it's difficult to determine the truth. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation's inquiry into who fired the fatal shots remains unresolved in publicly accessible records. What we do know is that the circumstances surrounding King Von's death were chaotic, with multiple armed individuals firing weapons in a crowded area. This complexity could explain some of the uncertainty and conflicting accounts. The King Von case exemplifies how hip-hop rivalries can escalate to fatal violence, with repercussions that continue for years afterward. It's also a stark reminder of how quickly life can change. Von had just released his debut album and was on the cusp of mainstream success when his life was cut short at age 26. 4 years after Von's death, there are still more questions than answers. Was he set up by people close to him? Did Lil Durk benefit from his passing? Who actually fired the fatal shots? What really happened at the hospital? The truth may never be fully known, as accounts differ and evidence remains limited or inaccessible to the public. What we do know is that King Von's legacy lives on through his music, which continues to resonate with fans. His storytelling ability and authentic portrayal of life in Chicago's O-Block neighborhood set him apart as an artist with unique talent and perspective. Whether you believe the official narrative or subscribe to one of the many conspiracy theories, one thing is undeniable. Von's death was a significant loss to the hip-hop community and a tragedy that has forever altered the lives of those connected to him. If you enjoyed watching this video, click on one of the boxes playing on your screen to watch more similar content.